everyone. Shannon Nicole here. Happy day. I don't even know what day it is. Just opening up my computer here while I wait for you all to pop on. Say hi. Kelly, how is it going, girlfriend? Hey, Kenzie. How's everybody today? Do you guys ever have like so much to say, you just like don't even know where to start? Hey! Hi, Kelly. Anyways, that's how I'm feeling today. I have so much to say. I've been having so many like downloads and upgrades and revelations and aha moments and oh my word. Yes, on the daily. Well, see, my problem right now is that I've been deep in the laboratory of consciousness for quite a while. Mad scientisting, asking a lot of questions, calling upon a lot of information and answers, which is what I want to share with you here and now. I've been writing a bit about it, so perhaps if you've been reading some of my posts lately, you might have an idea what's been going on in my world and sort of the understandings that I've been coming to, but they're all around, like what I'm marinating in right now is all around divine feminine business magic, which is what I titled this live stream. Divine feminine business magic. Hey Chris, how's it going? So where to start? So if you guys don't know, I mean, if you're just new to me and my message, or maybe you do know, maybe you've been hanging with me for a while now, I've been a mentor for 5 years, not full-time mentor the last like few years. And my mentoring has always revolved around various different topics, subject points, but all with the overarching theme of limitless living, right? And so I've sort of just been like throwing spaghetti on the wall. Like that's what my business has been like. Throwing spaghetti on my wall and seeing what will stick. Based in, and this is the part that I want to get to, nothing seemed to be sticking for me, right? Not in a long-term fashion anyways. And I've experienced, success on multiple levels. I've helped a fuck ton of people. I've had very financially lucrative months, where I've made between $15,000 and $25,000, not consistently. But like, nothing felt like it was sticking for me. It would either, my efforts would fall flat. That was sort of like earlier on, and then again recently, to be honest. Or I would start to get momentum, right? And then I like felt like ick. Or I would get some momentum and get clients and bring in the money, right? And then it was just like I was bored, or it felt like lackluster. And so this is very like frustrating and oftentimes infuriating as someone who knows, like I know that I'm here to build an enlightened empire, right? And like contribute to the world via information, education for the evolving human. Okay, let's put it that way. Education for the evolving human. And so the fact that like I could never find a way to do business that felt right for me, that was very frustrating. Very, very fucking frustrating. And what it boiled down to, I'm going to tell you because I have had great clarity on this lately. Preaching your story. We're not the only ones, right, Kelly? We're not the only fucking ones. And this is what I'm really like aware of this lately because I've shared a couple things about it in the online space just not in live stream fashion, but just in posts, and the response that I'm getting from women specifically is like resounding, right? And so, which confirms what I'm knowing in my heart and my soul and in the depths of my bones and the depths of my being, which is what I've been knowing this whole time, is that the business world is fucking changing, right? It's changing in a really big way. And what I became aware of about myself, and I'm sure this is true for you as well, if you're a female forerunner of consciousness, and this isn't, you guys, this isn't a conversation just for women, by the way, but women are who I'm feeling guided to work with right now, because women are, in fact, the leaders of the feminine rising, right? And the masculine, the men will follow, but this isn't even a conversation about men and women. This is a conversation about the feminine, the masculine that we all have within us, right? But I'm speaking to the women right now because I'm a woman, and that's who I'm relating to, and that's who I'm really feeling called to work with and support right now, because it's the women who they know that they're here to build an empire, like legit empire, not just like kind of a little business so that they don't have to go to a job, but know that you're here to build an empire, right? You're here to be an influencer, really, and have massive impact in the feminine rising, and you're to be a leader of our new world, right? That's what's happening right now. Things are changing, and we can feel it. We can feel it in our bones, that the old business paradigms aren't flying anymore, right? And so that was why I could never make my businesses work. It's because I was functioning from all of this like training. You guys, I've spent so much money, like thousands. I don't even know. I don't even think I could probably sit down and add up how much money I've spent on like business training, online, how to run an online business and all of that. And it like, it kind of fucked me up, to be honest. Well, it didn't. It was with purpose. But the problem was that I was believing in all of this like sort of patriarchal business world paradigm training, which really focuses more, it like celebrates and focuses more on the strategy, the outcome, and the action than anything. And the problem, here's the problem. So I was learning all of this stuff. I mean, it's not a problem, but where my struggle was laying as a female entrepreneur, my struggle was laying in the fact that I wasn't trusting myself, period, right? I wasn't trusting myself. I could feel deep down that there is a different way. And like I've gotten in, I'm not even gonna lie, I've gotten in a lot of like frustrating conversations with my boyfriend and with various men in my life, well, just various people in my life who are like I'm sharing the way that I feel deep in my soul it's supposed to work, and it's like that's not how it works, Chandra. Right? Which was basically just my own inner voice telling me that's not how it works, Chandra. It was this bullshit voice that was not trusting what I'm now calling my divine feminine business magic, right? And so the interesting thing is that all of our personal development, even our business structures and paradigms as they stand, and the combination of our light work that we've been doing in our spiritual worlds, which there's a lot of confusion around that. Like, we have a tendency to think that light work is this like feminine thing, but it's actually not. Light is representative of the masculine energy. The masculine energy is the provider energy of the universe, right? It's the energy that goes out and retrieves, right? It's the energy that hears your desires and goes out and fulfills them, right? And so our paradigms in business, and also our paradigms in personal development even, have been based on the light world, which is the world of form, right? And this isn't a wrongness of the light world. However, what we did a long, long time ago, millenniums ago, is we suppressed our divine feminine. And the divine feminine it's dark. It's dark energy, right? It's wild. It cannot be tamed. It's chaotic to the human, right? It's mysterious and not understandable. It's the womb of creation. The womb of creation, the feminine energy, is what gives birth to the light, right? And so what we've been doing is we repressed our divine feminine, right? We made it really bad, wrong, evil. It's Satan. We made it off limits, right? I mean, we burned millions of women at the stake for, a long time ago for embodying her divine feminine power. And so we repressed it a long time ago, and we've been functioning in a masculine, like a imbalanced world, society, culture, right? It's very patriarchal, which means it's dominant in masculine energy and weak in feminine energy. And what happens when you have an imbalance like that is basically it's because of the feminine energy, because the feminine energy is the guiding energy. So it's not like we're victims, right? As the manifestation of a woman, it's not that we're victims. We're just representative manifestations of this sort of imbalance in the masculine and feminine relationship energy within each of us, within us all, right? And so we suppress this connection to the divine, basically is what we did. We suppressed this connection to the womb of creation, and we put more value. Not only did we repress it, we made it horribly wrong and evil. And then we put all of our value in the patriarchal, in the light, basically. We put all of our value in the light, and we built our personal development and our business structures around that, right? And what that has us doing actually is functioning purely in the world of form. Even though we talk about divinity and we talk about that we're one with the universe, we're actually not allowing ourselves to go into the womb of creation and call forth brand new energy. So what this has us doing really is like recycling old information over and over and over again. When the divine feminine, that's the like patriarchal business model, right? It's like become a master and teach what you know, and then regurgitate it. It's a reiterating of information. And this was all well and perfect while it was, right? It's like we actually had to learn to master the world of form in order to be able to hold that creation, right? The creation of the world of form, whilst simultaneously tapping into our divinity and channeling directly from source in real-time information into, like, bringing from the dark, the unknown, into the light, right? And that's what's happening now. That's what the feminine rising is all about. We're starting to really feel this call to balance out our yin and our yang. It's not all about the light anymore. It's about the dark and the light, right? And so the like old patriarchal business paradigms just aren't going to fly much longer. And we know this, especially as women, as the leaders of, like, it's our job, it's our responsibility to call in the new feminine, divine feminine business paradigms. It really is, right? And the rest of the world will follow suit. The men will follow suit, the masculine will follow suit. And there's men also that are on the leading edge of consciousness, a forerunner of consciousness, who are actively bringing in this divine feminine energy too. One of my ex-clients, Andrew Tanzel, actually, I saw him just post that he's holding a group for men specifically to be able to anchor in the divine feminine energy, right? And this is a really, really amazing time to be alive and to be creating, especially as a woman. And so what I wanted to like share with you basically is that, like, if you've been struggling with your business, right, if it hasn't felt right, or if any of those three scenarios that I shared as my own scenarios are happening in your world, it's because of this. It's because you're not, it was never fucking supposed to work for you. It just wasn't. And I can't tell you, like, how much I beat myself up for this, how much I made myself wrong for this. And that was all like an aspect of me not trusting myself, right? I made myself so wrong for not being able to make the world of business as it stands work for me, until I came to the understanding that it was never supposed to work for me, right? Because I'm not here to master paradigms, I'm here to dismantle them, right? And to function from the divine feminine as a balanced masculine, feminine, divine feminine energies. Oh, I was just talking about you, Andrew. Is to hold this space of create containers in the world of form, right? Whilst in real time channeling information from the divine. So no longer are we going to be teaching what we know, but we're actually going to be teaching and creating our businesses, our entrepreneurial endeavors, and our empires even around what we desire to know, right? And it's our job to tap into the divine feminine energy, and there's a process to do this that we haven't been willing to do in our light work, and it has to do with going into the dark. It has to do with like looking at all the wrongnesses that we made of ourselves and everyone else, and actually like claiming them fully, and actually getting okay with the fact that we might just be both an angel and the devil. But I'm not going to get into that right now. It's like, as long as we've made rights and wrongs and goods and bads and sacreds and profanes in our world, which is like what I've been talking about as long as I've been talking on the internet, and I'm just understanding it on an even deeper level now. But as long as we're doing that in our world, we're functioning from human consciousness, the human limited consciousness that is very polarized. And in polarizing the self, we actually cut off entire halves of ourself, which is what we've done with the divine feminine. We've made everything that the divine feminine is, we've made it wrong, we've made it profane, we've made it evil, and we've suppressed that part of ourselves, right? And so it's like, in order to, as women specifically, be able to create a divine empire as holy humans, right? Not just as humans, but as holy. I love the word holy because it's like whole, but it's holy, right? Like divine humans. We cannot be functioning from these split personalities, essentially, right? We can't be cutting off entire halves of ourselves and suppressing them, because when we do that, when we make that wrong, we're actually making our divinity wrong, and we're stuck in the world of form when we make our divinity wrong on any level. And when we're more committed to belonging in the black-based human consciousness tribe, from functionings of survival than we are toward divinity, right? And so this is the work that we have to do as women in order to balance out our masculine and feminine energy and actually like create something new in the world. Because as long as we're suppressing our divine feminine, here's the thing, we're feeling the call, right? Like the women are feeling the call. We know that the feminine is rising, right? I mean, it's evident in the fact that I don't follow politics very closely, but I've seen on the peripherals that there's like 6 or 7 women running for president this round, right? And a bunch of females just like in the recent past got elected into like high offices in our government where they never were before. That's an indication that the women are hearing the call, right? That the feminine is rising. But the way that feminism has been done up until now is very much like a repression. It's a rebellion against the masculine, to be honest. It's a distrust in the masculine energy, and it's a rebellion against the masculine energy. And what happens when we mistrust and we rebel and we resist, we actually become what we're resisting, right? What we resist persist. And so like the feminine is rising, the feminine are hearing the call, right? But if we rise, which isn't really even rising, but if we're stepping into leadership roles from a place of rebellion and resistance, all we're actually doing is continuing to suppress our own divine feminine, which the divine feminine loves the divine masculine, right? The divine feminine has like a juicy, intimate, like expansive relationship with her divine masculine, right? That's her provider energy of the universe. And if the divine feminine is in rebellion of her own divine masculine, what she does is she represses herself and she perpetuates the masculine, right? So even though women are being called into leadership, right, called into called to create an empire, if we continue to rebel against and resist our own divine masculine, what we end up doing is we trap ourselves into the patriarchy. We trap ourselves into patriarchal business paradigms, right? And what will happen is that we'll just recreate the patriarchy as women. And that's not what we're trying to do here, right? We want to create heaven on earth. I don't know about you guys, that's what I want, right? We want a balanced yin-yang juicy experience where there's harmony and communion between the masculine and the feminine, which means we're actually accessing our whole potent capacity as creators, right? To be able to tap into the womb of creation, channel real-time information into the world of light, right? Bring the dark womb information into the light in real time. This is what innovation is, right? This is what we're here to do. We're not here to continue to create the old stuff over and over and over and over and over again, because the truth is that, like, the world of light is old ideas manifest. That's really all they are. The world of light is old ideas manifest. And if we don't call upon our capacity to do business in a different way and get out of resistance to our masculine, divine masculine, then we're just going to keep recreating the old over and over again, which is where the recreation of the patriarchy comes in, right? So I'm really excited about what I'm being called to do within these newest awarenesses and understandings, which is to literally show up, do my work, right, in reclaiming my divine feminine, which I'm not going to get into that too much. I'll do that in another live stream. I'll talk to you about my own experience with the repression of my divine feminine. So I'm doing my own work of reclaiming my divine feminine so that I can be the conduit for brand new information, right? Which really has a lot to do with trusting ourselves, knowing that we have the answers to how to build our empires, right? This is really big for us women right now, is knowing that we already have the answers. Not that we won't then be guided to, like, maybe learn about something here or there, you know what I mean? But it's like we no longer have to go into the world of light to learn how to build our businesses, because the businesses that exist already, for the most part, they're antiquated, right? And they're not working for us anymore. So it's our job literally to be, as women, to be innovators in the world of business and in the world in general, right? Like innovators, inventors, leaders, as the embodiments of balanced masculine feminine energy, right? And functioning at full capacity. So this is what I'm called to do at this time, is to work with women on tapping into their divine feminine business magic, right? Which really is about opening up your channel to the divine, trusting fully in the information that you're receiving, and having the courage, the audacity, right, to go out into the world and speak something into the world that there may not even be evidence for yet, right? There may be zero evidence for what you're knowing to be true and what you're being guided to do, because basically, like, you're going to be channeling in wildly different paradigms for our world and for business, right, that aren't based on what's existing at all. So it's like any inventor, any person who's brought something new into this world, like that's wildly outside of reality as we know it, was faced with a lot of disbelief, you know, by the world around them, because the world around them is the old world, right? It's a reflection of their old beliefs and ideas. And so we really need to start creating safe containers, safe spaces for women to really shed all the old patriarchal ideas, right? To fall in love with their divine masculine, because you need it for manifesting in your world, manifesting all the resources that you're going to require for your empire, right? To become a clear channel and conduit for divine feminine business magic, right? Like all of the guidance and information and understandings about your magic, your wizardry, right? Like you're gonna create your business in magical ways that are gonna like leave people scratching their head, like, and wondering, oh, like, how in the actual fuck did she do that, right? Like, that's how it's supposed to be done, and that's what you're here to do. And so I'm called to create that safe container for you to do so, right? To create your business in a whole different way. And so I created a new private mentoring program. This is going to be the focus of all of my mentoring moving forward. I'll be revealing parts of it, aspects of it as we go. I'm really excited. But for the purpose of this conversation, my private mentoring program is now open only to women who know, like I said in the beginning, know in their hearts and their souls that they are here to build a divine empire, right? That they're not here to master paradigms, they're here to obliterate them, right? And create from pure magic. You're here to tap into your divine feminine business magic. You're not here to reiterate, right? You're here to innovate. You're here to be a real-time channel of information, right, from your divine self. And you're here to be the embodiment of a holy human, right? A whole divine human that is balanced in her masculine and feminine, functioning at full capacity in this world, because that's the only way that our experience is going to change. That's the only way that paradise is going to be realized here on earth, right? The queendom of heaven, right here on earth, the divine queendom of heaven. So, if that's you, you've been feeling, like frustrated in your business, spinning your wheels, or not getting momentum, or getting momentum, and just being like, I don't want to do this, this fucking sucks. Or you're just like not fulfilled, or there's something more for you, reach out to me, because you're the people that I'm here to work with. You're the women that I'm here to work with in my private mentoring program. So, I'm just going to scroll here and see who has joined me. See if you guys have anything you want to say. Nice to see you too, Catherine. Kelly said all that burned out my feminine because they weren't fostering my true creativity and passions and intuition. Yeah. Like that's the only way that's going to fly for us women specifically right now. We just cannot, like the old business paradigms will not work for you. They just won't. Because they're not supposed to. They've run their course, right? There's no more power in them anymore. And we're being called to an elevated reality. We're being called to elevated paradigms. And it's our responsibility. Here's the thing, is that like the dark womb of creation gives birth to the light, right? And so the feminine suppressed itself, and the feminine is responsible for reclaiming itself, right? It's our responsibility. There are no victims here, right? But it's our responsibility to reclaim the divine feminine and bring her back, right? And to embody her in a way that's not a rebellion of the masculine, right? And only we can do that, and the rest of the light world will follow suit, because the divine feminine is the source, right? The dark divine feminine is the source of the light. And so it's like we can no longer make our dark parts wrong. We cannot. We can no longer make our power wrong. We can no longer be scared of our power, right? It's wild power, right? It's scary. And so it's like we have to get okay with our power if we're going to embody that and create something wild and different in the world. And it's our responsibility as women right now in this time, right? In this era, in this feminine rising, right? Those words came to us for a reason. It's because the feminine are rising up from suppression. And it's up to us. Catherine says, in some religious traditions, the devil was an angel. Yes. I believe that the devil is an angel too. But I'm not going to get into that right now. Because I'd be on here for just days, probably. We'll come back. We'll circle back around and talk about that. Okay. Do you have anything else that you would like to contribute to this conversation, or any questions you would like to ask before we go? I don't even know how long I've been on here. If you feel called to my program, Divine Queendom, or not Divine Queendom, sorry, Divine Empire. Divine Queendom is a whole different thing that I'm working on, not whole different, it's related, but I'm not talking about that right now. Divine Empire, if you feel called to my private one-on-one program called Divine Empire, which I just talked about, you can, well, the best way to do it, honestly, would be to go directly to my website, ChandraNicole.com. Go to ChandraNicole.com and you will find some information, a little bit of information on who this program is for, and a button to click to schedule an exploratory call with me, right? Where we'll sort of see if it's a fit and see if what I have to offer is really what you're looking for, and to also see if you are the kind of person that I'm looking to work with, right? And we can have a quick chat about that, like a 20-minute chat or whatever. So if you feel called to that, go to my website, ChandraNicole.com. Fill out the application form. It's brief, and schedule a time to connect. And I look forward to talking to you very, very soon. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me on the Facebook or whatever as well. I'm really excited to see who my women are, who my divine empresses are that come to work with me in the divine feminine rising, really, right? Like you are the next world leaders. I was told by a complete stranger, probably a year ago, when I was at a coffee shop. This guy, he came up to me and he said, he was like, it was such a bizarre experience. He was like channeling for real. We got into a conversation and he was like, holy fuck. He's like, you're supposed to work with world leaders. You're supposed to work with the next world leaders. And at the time I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like I had no idea. It was making zero sense to me at all. I mean, I was aware that, funnily enough, even though I've never marketed myself this way or like specifically niched myself this way, messengers and entrepreneurs have always been the people who come to work with me in a private capacity and in my programs, and women primarily, right? And so I guess that was just like foreshadowing for what's to come, right? But I had that piece, which is an indication of my true desire, right? Which is to do this work, which I've been not allowing myself to know for a while, but that's also another live stream. Because like our desires are always winning, you guys. Our desires are always winning. And so like if you have your truest soul desires will always trump everything else, right? And so on some level I knew that I had a desire to work with women entrepreneurs. I just didn't have the clarity as to what that was supposed to look like or why, right? And so I had that piece because those people kept coming to me. I kept attracting them to me, those women. And then this man who was like straight up channeling God, channeling divine feminine wisdom, told me that I'm supposed to work with the new world leaders. And I was like, what in actual fuck, right? Although it resonated, you know, it was like in my soul, it resonated, but at that time I wasn't able to claim that for myself yet, right? Because I wasn't quite trusting myself, and I also didn't, I was playing too small to see myself as someone capable of working with world leaders. Even though it resonated, you know, and so now like everything's coming full circle, and I see that I am to work with the new world leaders, and the new world leaders are the women, right? The women who've been doing the light work, right? So the light work serves the purpose in that we begin claiming responsibility. You know, we become aware that our world is a reflection, right? This light world is a literal reflection, and we create a reality. And then once we have a grasp on that, then we're able to bring in the dark energy, right? And so it's those women that have been on this path for a long time doing the inner work, right? Doing the light work and feeling called to leadership and entrepreneurship. You are the next world leaders, the new world leaders, right? And so it's my job to hold that space for you to call forth what's trying to emerge, right? To create a safe space where you're honored, and also, someone who can help you see what you can't see yet, right? To clear that out, to alchemize that, to transmute that so that you can connect with your divine feminine business magic and create entirely new possibilities for the world, right? Andrew says, absolutely, I see the same in you, leaders of leaders. Yeah, people have been telling me that in various capacities for a while now. I just wasn't able to totally receive it. Oh, it's funny how life's always speaking to us, right? So anyways, I guess that's it. I'll stop rambling. I'm not rambling, but I think that's it. I think my message is complete. So if you feel the call to work with me, like I said, go to ShannaNicole.com and schedule a time to chat. And until next time, no limits, just love. Bye.